Hello there, this is Joe Cox Jr. with Life Made Simple, getting through this narcissistic world. A lot of you out there been wanting to meet my wife, and so today we're going to do a formal introduction. We're down at the property doing some more clearing, and she came down here with me today. So it's a nice fall day. As you can see, most of the leaves are falling, but this is Jonna Sue. Say hello.
Hi.
So a lot of you have I've talked to you about how we met and how special she is to me in my marriage, and to give you faith that there are good marriages out there. And like I said, I had a bad marriage, and then what I call it a bad marriage, but then I was single for about 20 years. But when we reconnected from our childhood, and I just knew what I'd been missing all these years, and so here she is. And so what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about our marriage and what we like about it, what's different from pretty much everybody else's marriage as a general rule. When I say that, is what the world says that you need to do to have a good marriage. And that a lot of times they say if you're bickering, that's a good thing. Fight constructively. I don't find that to be true. I think if you really listen with your heart, uh, you can always come to a resolve. So, but anyway, would you like to say anything?
Well, nice to meet y'all. uh, I'm so proud of my sweetheart here. He is really doing this from his heart, and he wants to reach out to you and help you to know that no matter where you came from, no matter where you're in, even possibly now, that it doesn't have to stay that way, and that you can become and do anything that you choose to. And I just, I second that. I believe that is true as well.
That we both have experienced narcissistic marriages.
Yes.
Um, we have experienced narcissistic parents. She had a great mother.
Yes.
She died real young, 38 years old.
Yes.
So she lost her, and all she had then was the abusive father. And so we kind of really connect on a deeper level when it comes to the narcissism. We totally understand each other when it comes to trials through life. And she's been able to help me so much through my healing period. But what I've talked about throughout a lot of the videos is you attract what you are, not what you want.
Yes.
And so we both, through the years, we stuck to our principles about life. We danced together at 15 years old. For those that don't know, let's start a little bit at the beginning. We danced together at 15 years old, and I told my mother about her, and my mother said I was not worthy of a quality girl like her.
Mm.
And so I never asked her out because I thought I was doing her a favor.
And I never knew that until way later after we reconnected. I never knew that. So,
Mm.
and Mama used to say, Jonna, why don't you go and date some of the boys in the area, or from church and all. And so, I mean, I was afraid to do that because anyone that I did make as a friend, and, my stepdad would run them off. And I just didn't want the hassle or the embarrassment of that. And I remember seeing Joe at church and thinking, gosh, he's quiet, he's nice looking. He has a very sweet and kind demeanor, and he still does today. And Um, so I'm thankful that we were brought back together. Uh, as far as my journey on where we reconnected from that, yes, I did have some bad relationships, a terrible marriage. You think that you can last, and you put hope and effort into it, and to no avail of the bad. So of anything getting better. So anyway, fast forward, I did choose to um, have that person in my life exit our lives. And that was a great choice that I made and made me stronger for it. Yes, it was painful. Of course, it's painful because when you lose hope of something, it cuts deep inside. Even though you may know it's not right, and this is not my life. This is not where I should be in that relationship. I know I've kept saying that and feeling that. I knew that to my core. This is not my life. This is not where I should be. What am I doing here? And when you're a single mom, or when you know that you will become a single mom, you're worried about how you're going to provide for your children. And that was a big factor when they were little as well. So, anyway, I don't want to ramble. I just want to get to the point of letting you know where I came from and the hurdles that I was able to overcome were drastic and wonderful. My life became more peaceful. Um, I found joy in life again, and my children thanked me when I made that choice. When your children come to you and say, "Thank you for getting that person out of our lives," that's huge, and it's yeah. So, what I did was when I became that single mom, I worked. There were not enough hours in a day to work. I just wanted to work and work and work and provide. We struggled, but we made it. And we were blessed in ways that we didn't. Sometimes blessings come from places you don't expect them, and from people that just come out of the woodwork, and there's a blessing. And so those things happened. Good things happened to help us along our journey through our struggles and through our healing. Um, and when I just started focusing on me and my children, and I wanted to just become the best me that I could. So that's what I did. I started taking care of me physically, spiritually. Um, I knew that I was going to heal emotionally, and that felt like it would take forever, but I did. And being able to I was on my knees praying to God every morning, every night. Um, I said to Him, I said, if I'm supposed to be single the rest of my life, fine. I can handle that as long as I kind of know I can make life work. I've got my wonderful two children, and I'll make it work because I'm not going to be miserable again. I can tell you that. So I said, but if he's out there, if the man that I'm supposed to marry and be with, you know where he is. If he's on the other side of the world, you need to bring him to me. Or lead us together. And of course, all in the utmost respect when you pray to God, of course. But I'm just summing it up for you that I talked to Him as if I was talking to a father, and I said, I need your help and I need guidance. I'm here to learn. Show me the way. And so my son started looking for it because we wanted to move out of the town we were in. Fresh start. He started looking for some apartments and places that we could move into. Um, so we chose. There were two different cities that we chose, two different apartments, and we liked them both. They both would have worked. Well, one of them fell through. The other one worked out. The other one that worked out was in the same area where he was. I didn't know that. I didn't have contact with the kids and the people from years before. And so we I got a job. I was working a couple of jobs at the same time. And so one of my jobs was right my I could see from my desk the back of his store that he had opened up. And uh I we'd ended up, gosh, online. I don't know how much but uh he saw me online through a mutual friend. And I rarely ever got online on Facebook. I'd taken a break from it. But one night I was sitting up and I thought, you know what, let me just see what's happening. And I get a message. And I was like, he's like, so, what are you doing in this part of town? You just moved here or what? And I was like, oh my gosh, is
Let,
that you?
let me say this real fast. What had happened is I was online and through another friend, and I actually opened a thrift store for the homeless,
Uh-huh.
and we were getting donations, and I was
Hmm.
online trying to connect with maybe some of the past people that make some donations to the
Yes.
store.
And
And
they did.
yeah, and but what happened is she was friends with someone else, and I saw her, and I'm like, I hadn't even heard her name in 30 years,
Yeah.
and I knew that. I mean, I just figured she moved on and had a wonderful life and that sort of thing. It's kind of we believe
Hmm.
that everybody else's life turned out great, right?
Yeah.
And so the interesting thing is I looked on there and I saw that she was single, and I'm like, or divorced, and I'm like, who would divorce her? That's kind of thing. And that's before I knew about the narcissistic situation she had. Um, so, and I looked there, and then I looked, and she was in the same town, and I'm like, you have to be kidding me. So that's when I messaged her or sent you an email, or text, or something,
Yep.
and
A
that's when,
message.
and then she sent me something right back, and then we scheduled a time to go meet for lunch, just as friends. I didn't
Yeah.
didn't think
We,
a whole lot about it.
yeah. All I knew was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so cool to sit down with him at lunch and just catch up as old friends, and just to have that connection from somebody that knew my mom, way back when, and that was really a neat thing. So we met at this really cute outside cafe. It has like a beautiful outside uh, place where you can sit outside, and we just met there, and
So tell them about
you
when
want me to?
you were there first, and then I pulled up, and then I started walking towards the restaurant, and which made when I
Yeah,
saw her, it's like this parking lot seems like a mile long.
yeah,
Um, so go
yeah.
ahead.
So I was sitting there, and like I said, we hadn't even spoken. We hadn't heard each other's voices on the phone yet. So he called me, and he was like, "I'm almost there." So I'm sitting there, and I just happened to turn around, and he's walking up the parking lot there, and I was like, "Wow." There he is. He's just as taller than I remember. So I stood up, and it was like this feeling came over me that I did not recognize. It was something really sweet and amazing. So he hugged me, and you know how you'll hug and then you'll go to let go. And I looked up at him and I started to let go. Well, he didn't let go. He held on to me, and he just looked into my face, and he said, "There you are." And so there, yeah, it was something. It was like time stood still. It was like everything just went in slow motion. The It was a warm summer day. It The wind was blowing. It was just beautiful. It was like everybody in the cafe that was sitting there just
I
it
forgot even people were there.
yeah, everything became silent,
Yeah.
and like it was all moving in slow motion. And we sat down and we talked for, gosh, over 2 hours at least, and just got caught up, and we didn't know all where things would go from there. All we knew was that somehow we don't want to be out of each other's lives. Somehow we want, and we didn't make assumptions. We were just like, okay, let's just see where this goes. Well, a year later, we got married.
Yeah.
So
It didn't take long to figure it out.
no, it didn't.
So,
It
because it
didn't.
was just all such new feelings we that neither one of us had,
Yeah.
and that's where I talk about on some of the other videos that when you meet the right person and you marry the right person, you have zero reservations. And so when you go to think about marrying somebody, if you have any reservations, that's a red flag. And so we've both been through bad relationships and negative relationships,
Mm.
but neither one of us have ever had a question about it before or after the marriage.
Yeah.
And we're about what 7, 8 years into it now,
Yeah.
about to come up on our anniversary, and
Yep.
she's been a life changer. She's been there for my healing, and I've been there for hers, and we're here to create a life together. But most of all, we realize that we all went through this for a reason, and so this is why I created this channel. And I will let you know that I only started this probably what 8, 10 weeks ago, something of that
Mhm.
nature, and we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. By the
And
time
thank
this
you.
comes out, and I can say nothing but thank you, because you're
Mm.
showing me that that this is needed. All the great comments we've had, just beautiful comments,
Yes.
and thank you. This is a very positive channel.
Yeah.
Um, you
You
know,
all have such we can feel your sweetness and your good energy and your joy and your all of the good things that you feel and even if you're frustrated, reach out and say, "Look, I need help with this."
mhm.
You know, and Joe, he'll get back to you and
I will respond to every message.
Mhm.
If there's a topic that you would like me to speak on in detail, more
Mhm.
detail about us meeting or anything else we talk about on the channel,
Mhm.
please reach out. I'd be glad to address. I'm trying to put these out daily right now, and as you know, that I'm also a real estate broker. I've got a lot of other things going, so these are a little bit raw, a little bit unedited. I'm trying to get better equipment, that sort of thing. Now that I see that uh, I'm going to continue this channel, and I wanted everybody to meet my wife today. But I think we'll end that for now, just to do initial introduction. But she'll be on some of the other videos with me as well. And you'd like any last words?
No, just nice to meet y'all. And we wish everyone blessings and joy in your life. And we all have a journey to walk, and you can have the love and support that you need through the journey that you're walking. And we all, life is it's life lessons, and we can get through them together. So
Yep,
just be blessed, and it's great to meet y'all. Take care.
there she is. This is Joe Cox Jr. and Jonna Sue with Life Made Simple, getting through this narcissistic world. Please like and comment if you feel like we've earned it. And from our heart to yours, blessings. Bye bye.